Welcome to the Roadrunner Gym here in Deptford, New Jersey, as we've got a local rivalry in NJCAA Region 19. It's the Camden County Cougars, 15-8, versus the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners, 7-18. I'm Dan Wilkins. I'm joined by Sam Goldberg on the call this evening. We just wrapped up a very competitive women's game that saw the Roadrunners take a 19-point victory. And Sam, now Camden is the dominant team on this home matchup for the Roadrunners. They're coming into this game 15-8 with a lot of young freshmen on their lineup, and it's going to be a really fun battle versus a sophomore-heavy Roadrunners team.
Absolutely, and when you look at this matchup, right, the Roadrunners have been up and down this season. You've seen games where they've done well offensively, and you've seen games where they want to turn the other direction for a certain night. Like, look at their last game, only putting up 39 points. So if you're the Roadrunners, you have to be effective early and effective in your offensive sets if you want to be successful today against this really high-powered Camden team.
Well, and Camden's got a lot of players that we're familiar with. Aiden Copestick is one of them. He scored over 800 points in his time at Deptford High School. That's also right down the street here from Rowan College of South Jersey. So he chose the different route. He went to play for Lou Abatista instead of the Roadrunners. He's played several high school games on this floor, and he's going to be really fun to watch. He's a great spot-up shooter, somebody who really advances and excels from any part of the floor and takes a lot of passes from his teammates. But my player to watch for RCSJ is going to be Ace Lassiter. He is a phenomenal three-point shooter, and he's somebody with blazing speed on the floor. Can really act as a secondary point guard to Hyzier Davis, and somebody who really lights it up in the scorecard as RCSJ's leading shooter this year.
You know, just like how you picked a forward when I picked a guard last time, this time I'm going to go with a forward in Mikey Campbell, number 4 for the Cougars, averaging 14.4 points per game, 4.3 rebounds a game, shooting over 51% on the field, 41% from 3. He's got a fantastic inside-out game, and he's definitely going to be a key piece if the Cougars want to be successful today.
Well, that's great, Sam. We're going to take a quick break. Starting lineups being introduced here from the Roadrunner Gym. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by the Robert Morris alum, Sam Goldberg. We'll be back in just a moment.
And number 25, Esteban Norwood. And now, for the starting lineup for your RCSJ Roadrunners. First, sophomore, number 2, is Lester. Again, we want to thank each and every one of our sophomores for their hard work and dedication to RCSJ sports. We ask that if any of your parents or family members are here, take a picture when we call you a sophomore. It's complicated. It's junior college. Yes, they're our seniors. Sophomores. They're our graduating class. Next, number 11, Amara Sacco.
All right, so a little bit of a complicated presentation there of the starting lineups, but we got it done. Sophomore day is complete. Your starting lineup: Desir Williams-Bay out of Kingsway, Ace Lassiter out of Lenape, Hyzier Davis out of Winslow, Aiden Cranmer out of West Deptford, and Habes for the Cougars. We're up and we're away here in Deptford Township. Camden with first possession. The Ocean City grad, Ben McGonigal, on it. Goes back to Copestick inside. And good attempt there by Norwood, but no good, as Lassiter will bring this one down the floor for the Roadrunners. He's wasting no time. He'll go up, and it's in. Camden giving up their first basket there to the Roadrunners. It's a 2-0 game. McGonigal out on the right side. Again, that very athletic guard out of Ocean City and the Cape Atlantic American. One of the toughest divisions in all of South Jersey high school basketball. I mean, you could say the same for Aiden Copestick and the Tri-County Liberty for what they have to offer with Delsea, Timber Creek, Triton, and Deptford themselves. But Lassiter out on the right side is out on the right. Looked like a little bit of contact there after the shot. Second chance by Amara Sacco. Doesn't go.
I like the opportunities here that the Roadrunners are getting so far. They're putting up some good quality shots. They're also doing some dirty work down low. It's definitely what you're going to need out of these guys if you want to pull off the victory.
Yeah, both of these teams are pretty physical. Certainly, they're undersized as Norwood gets the basket there. They are undersized. And, you know, when you had Rich Raccabaldo on this team last year, and when you had, you know, Daniel Mendez on this team for the Roadrunners last year, they certainly helped. And Raccabaldo was such a great three-point shooter for a center, as a good offensive rebound, but Sacco's pass to Davis was just a little bit too hot, and it goes out of bounds. Camden ball, 18:38 left in the first half, and just, well, a 2-2 game here. Moving this one up on the right side is McGonigal, guarded by Davis. He'll go up, he loses it, comes out, Davis picks up the steal. Here comes a fast break. Roadrunners, Sacco with the right hand, no good. Comes down, and a quick turnaround for now Zamir Crawford. Out to McGonigal, moving up to the semicircle, moving inside. Crawford too strong. He'll pick up the offensive board, and he just got the ball out, but now it gets tipped up by Copestick out to the scorer's table and out of bounds after a good one-on-one battle there by Aiden Copestick and Amara Sacco.
That pass that was trying to be thrown back out to the top of the key accidentally hit the bottom of the backboard. That's why that pass looked a tiny bit awkward.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that it was tipped. That's a good catch there. As Crawford, guarded by Desir Williams-Bay. Again, another very local product out of Kingsway Regional and Woolwich Township. Copestick lets it fly as the shot clock expires, but since it whiffed on the rim, they'll be charged with a shot clock violation.
A strong defensive battle so far.
Yeah, definitely interesting for a Camden team that, you know, definitely put RCSJ behind the woodshed the last time they played them for a 15-8 team versus an RCSJ team that is mathematically eliminated from the Region 19 playoffs. Here comes a spin back to Williams-Bay. Inside the paint, he'll get it out to Davis. Pulls up from the corner of the paint. Good. And again, that is that nice little off-ball movement there that was able to get Davis in position, and then he slides over into the corner of the paint and gets a really nice look at an open basket. As here comes McGonigal, short of the rim, picks up the board for the 5'9" guard. Copestick with that flashy athleticism. Again, some very twitchy athleticism as the 6'3" shooter can't get that one to fall, and a foul underneath the basket as Davis was getting that one back. The foul will be on Crawford. So RCSJ gets a break there on the game's first foul.
More pressure here from the Cougars. Picking them up full court.
Williams-Bay will bring this one at half court to Sacco on the right wing. Tried to find Davis, who was open, but it's back to Williams-Bay. Right hand blocked. Blocked hard by Norwood. Here comes a full court pass down the floor, tipped away. Second chance is good. Very nice basket there by Ishan Norwood. And we're knotted up at 4 apiece. Norwood has both baskets for Camden County. And now moving in here, Sacco, the Woodbury grad, back to Lassiter. This one's up, he's fouled and one. Ace Lassiter gets that one to fall. And he will get a chance to make a three-point play there. Again, Lassiter not always driving to the basket as often as you may expect, but he's certainly able to pick that one up there as, well, he already had an open look earlier. So he's now got 4 of the Roadrunners' 6 points. And he'll try to add another one as we will have another sub here, a late sub by the coach Lou Abatista for Camden County, the longtime Camden County head coach for the Cougars. Our good friends Vincent Focht and Haley Mejia work at Camden County's radio station 91.5. They do a fantastic job, and when I got to listen to them, you know, they talked about Lou Abatista like he was an old friend, you know, just a really passionate head coach, somebody who, you know, really knows the game of basketball well, and somebody who really is not afraid to put himself or his team on the line in sake of doing the right thing or getting the right thing done, whether it's contesting a foul call or whether it's putting in the right guys on different rotations. It really is a strong performance by Abatista. Cranmer over to the right for Zaire Green now into the ball game for the Roadrunners, as stopping on it is Williams Bay. Back out to Cranmer for 3. Go! Aiden Cranmer does what he did so many times in his freshman year. He continues to light up the three-point land as he's got a corner 3, 9-4 Roadrunners. And almost 5 minutes gone already in this first half. Wow, a wipeout there. Oh, we got a man down. He's pretty hurt. He took a hard spill. And now we're going to have a whistle here as immediately receiving attention will be Mikey Campbell over right in front, I guess conveniently in front of the trainer, at least Spalding, who didn't have to travel that far. But I don't know if you saw that, Sam, but Hajir Davis kind of incidentally gave Campbell a wipeout there and ended up taking a hard fall.
You know, just incidental contact. Looks like he might have landed on that wrist. It's what he's holding right now, that right wrist, trying to brace his fall a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of got the rug taken out from underneath him there, and that was the issue, is the basket did go. Basket was scored by the Cougars' number 2, Cam Rembert. It's now 9-6 as they'll be forced to put a new man on the floor in substitution for Campbell. Here comes Davis over to Green. The graduate of Triton is out on the right side is Williams Bay, moving to the top of the key. Cranmer moves in, looks to get a clean shot, knocked down on its way down. John Bird might have wanted a goaltend there, but I don't think that it was, I don't know, that's hard to tell on a shot like that. Is now going in, that one's going to airball, bats off of Rembert's hand. And now going up, short is Sue Elaine. And a lot of missed shots by the Camden Cougars give the Roadrunners another opportunity to try to make this a 2-possession game.
McGonigal was wide open at the top of the key in that last possession. Would have loved to seen a pass out to him.
Cranmer to Williams Bay on the left wing. Moving inside. He'll feed it out. Green, quick pass with Williams Bay in the corner. Roadrunners setting up shop right in front of the Camden County bench. That seems to be their home so far as Williams Bay knocks down a triple. You can make that a 12-6 game. Out on the right side now for Camden County is Christian Durham. Not too far from here, out of Glassboro, but went to the Phelps School, a private prep academy in Central Jersey. That one is short. Couldn't get that one from Sue Elaine. As now Davis will bring this one up. This one is a flailing shot that gets knocked down by Durham, and we've got a foul. So McGonigal was going to inbound. They're going to switch it out instead. Referee is going to the scores table to ask for clarification here. That's the RCSJ scorekeeper down there. And now they're going to bring somebody over. So we might have a discrepancy here. We've seen this before where there's an issue in the book. I mean, on the right, but they're both in black hoodies. The lady on the left is your RCSJ scorekeeper. The gentleman on the right is the Camden scorekeeper. But the referees are going to go down here. There's 2 of them at the table now, and one of them is pointing towards Lou Abatista. So we may have a discrepancy of some kind, but if the book is not reported correctly, we could have a technical foul. And looking at my book, number 21 is Zamir Crawford. So now the referee, the gentleman with the white hair, is looking at the Camden book. And Bird is saying that it should be a tech.
One of these things is not like the other.
All right, so we're going to get a technical foul here against the bench. Honestly, this happens way more often than it should in JUCO. I mean, you don't see this in NCAA Division I. I mean, at least very rarely. It's one of those things where, oh, how rare is this? But I've seen this at least 3 or 4 times this year. And he's going to get one technical shot. And because it's a T, the Roadrunners are going to keep possession, I think. Or no.
So now that makes life a little awful for us, because now we got to figure out who's who, and because now 21 is not who is
well, no, on
reported,
the online roster, 21 is Zamir Crawford. So I don't think it's specifically on Crawford, let's just say. I think it's against somebody else. I mean, they could have brought in a sub who wasn't, you know, scored properly or whatever, but we'll use the best resources that we have. As fired off the glass is Esteban Norwood out of Dover, Delaware. He now makes this a 13-8 game.
He's got 6 points. He's on fire so far.
We'll have a foul here. It will be on Zaire Green, it looks like. Or actually, no, it's going to be on Camden's number 3 instead in Sue Elaine. Davis will let it off to Williams Bay. Back over to Cranmer on the left wing. Now moving back to Lassiter. He got a man behind him, and he'll get the shot. And Williams Bay now with 7, or rather Lassiter with 7 points to make that 15-8. As really this could be, as here comes a scramble. Green falls on it. He lets it go to Davis, and no whistle. And Abatista, we talked about that passionate attribute from Abatista. He's going to contest this foul. And again, not happy at all about that call. But listen, that is a blocking foul because the player moved back.
His right shoulder twitched, or no, sorry, his left shoulder twitched back a little bit before that contact.
And
any sort of twitch.
Any sort of twitch, any sort of movement, that's going to be a blocking foul every single time. You're not going to get the charge that way. So Cranmer will shoot 2 from the line. I'm confused why he's shooting because Camden only has 4 fouls, and it wasn't a shooting foul.
I think that's what they're calling it, a shooting foul.
Okay.
Because I think as he
they're
was
going to say he was in his motion.
Yeah, he was going up towards the basket when that contact happened.
Second shot by Cranmer is good. You can now make this a 17-8 Roadrunner lead versus one of the top teams in the Region 19 bracket. I mean, listen, I think that there is no doubt, as here goes Williams Bay, who gets the steal. He gets the shot. Oh, slammed off the backboard. And it's going to go out of bounds. Camden ball. Foul on Cranmer. It's already his second.
I think that might have been blocked on the play, on that fast break.
And Lou Abatista is going to call a timeout. His first of the day. We'll see if it's a full or a 30. It is. So we will take a break as we mentioned, one of the top teams in Region 19 for the men. They're certainly taking a bit of a tumble here in the first half. It's 17-8, 9-point lead for RCSJ right after this. Welcome back to Rowan College of South Jersey. This broadcast is brought to you by the South Jersey chapter of the National Adult Baseball Association. Registration is open for the spring of 2026. Visit southjerseynaba.com with over 20 teams across 4 highly competitive divisions. 17-8, 9-point lead for the Roadrunners. As I was saying before we went to timeout, before we went to commercial break, the number 1 team in Region 19, anybody with half a brain will tell you it's Salem. 22-1. They're number 3 in the nation. For about 90% of the season, they were number 1 in the nation. And they only dropped that low because of a loss to Brookdale last week. And that was even a close loss, but they dropped down 2 slots, and now Dallas Richland is number 1 in the country. So still, the fact that they have a top 5 team, there's only one other team that even can come close to that regard in Region 19. Salem is far and away the best team in the conference. But when it comes down to the tournament, really anything can change, just like it can in March Madness. And that's why Camden's trying to make a good case to play their best basketball tonight. Here comes a turnover. Coming out of the timeout. Lays it up. Blocking foul. Basket counts and 1. Shot good by Kyrie Henry, who gets it to fall. Not to mention a former teammate of Hajir Davis over at Winslow, has some familiarity with this team. And the first shot, and the only shot, is good. So Kyrie Henry picks up his first points, and it's now 17-11 in favor of the Roadrunners. Here comes Javes de Jesus. Even cracking any expression there as Ace Lassiter wanted to bring the house down, but instead picked up a brick as it's now going to be 19-11. Thank goodness de Jesus was there to come back and get that putback. That's just a fundamental mistake right there as he'll be fouled. Welcome to JUCO basketball, ladies and gentlemen.
That's just a little short on the dunk attempt.
And you can see even Lassiter smiling. Rich Cooper's talking to him. This team's eliminated from the playoffs. There's only so much that you can hamper against here, especially for a player that's going to be leaving you, just a couple of weeks. I give them props that they're having a little bit of fun out there, but I also give them props that they're playing well here against Camden. They are doing extremely well at getting the ball to the basket and really no funny business. That's what the problem. I know that's not, that's the layman's term, but they have done really well at sticking to the plan and just driving to the basket, shooting a couple threes. They're playing very balanced basketball. Christian Durham is at the line. He will hit the wire on his second attempt, so that will be negated. Both teams have 4 fouls. Remember, in the men's circuit, you get 7 for 1 and 1, 10.5 for double bonus. 11 minutes left in the first half. Lassiter on the right wing. Bounce pass to Green. Fires it out in the corner for Davis. He'll move into the baseline. Has to find somebody. Goes back out. Moving for Davis. Rather for Green. Green guarded by Durham. Loses it. And a violation. They're going to say, no, he stepped out on the base. No, a foul. I thought they were going to say he stepped out on the baseline. A foul gets called on Christian Durham. That's 5 against the Cougars already in 11 minutes.
It's a good call. I felt like the defender kind of thrusted his hips a little bit towards the offensive player that knocked him out of bounds. Felt like that was a good call there along the baseline.
Now moving out after the inbound is Williams Bay. Calls for Green. Moves him over. Camden shifting into a 2-3. Trying to avoid the 3 ball. De Jesus in the corner. Has to get out of it. Gets through the traffic, but the ball comes out. Goes back to Camden, and it gets picked up by Henry. Back out to Elaine on the right side. Now over in the corner for Crawford. Crawford guarded by Sacco. High pass. Green tried to tip it, and he does. Davis gets it down. Back out. Moving over to Sacco. Here comes Davis. That flashy move. Back to Crawford. Here comes a corner 3. Sacco off the top of the backboard. Now it feels like both teams are starting to slow down a little bit. I mean, that was a intense couple of minutes there between Camden and RCSJ. A lot of physicality, but now a lot of missed shots really reflecting not the best play by either team so far, as Cam Rembert going to get ready to check back in.
This has turned to a very grimy defensive game.
You got a foul. Sacco disagrees, but it gets called. It'll be, I think, his first, and it is. So first personal, team's fifth. And Aiden Copestick, the Deptford grad. Of course, Deptford has been just fine without Aiden Copestick. They're 15-2. And Jordan Williams, who has South Jersey's best shooting performance at the high school level this year, he had a 54-point game versus Delsey earlier in February, and he recently surpassed his 1,000th point. But Deptford, right down the road from RCSJ, has picked up a lot of good players over the years. I mean, a lot of the local high schools have here in Gloucester County. As going up, Crawford, second chance, denied both times, 2 to shoot, playing a little hacky sack, firing it at the backboard, and DeJesus comes down with it. So many missed shots. As Green, back to Sacco. Davis on the left wing, he'll take his time. 9-10 left in the first half, but a low-scoring affair, 19-12. Moving it back out, over to DeJesus. Gets it over, travel on Jabez DeJesus. And Lassiter is going to check back in.
This game has a certain feel to it. Like, it's definitely an intense game right now. The Roadrunners are giving the Cougars some fits right now, and the Cougars can't seem to crack like this, the Roadrunners defense, and then same thing on the other end. The Roadrunners are having a tough time against the Cougars defense. It's just a +7 advantage right now for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, they're really trying to give Camden a little bit of a spoiler candidate. You know, they're really trying to make RCSJ the team that's eliminated from the playoffs but can still play good basketballs. Here comes the foot race. Copestick comes down with it. They'll reset behind the half-court line. They'll heave it in. Back to Crawford. Open look. Fires it inside. Green, or check that. That one goes for Kyrie Henry, and John Bird, the first-year head coach, calls a timeout, and so will we. 19-14, RCSJ leads by 5 here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We'll take a quick break. Welcome back, 19-14. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Sam Goldberg. We'll be back on the air tomorrow night over in Mullica Hill for crossover basketball between the Vineland Fighting Clan and the Clearview Pioneers. 5:30 tip-off. I'll be on the call with Damian Waiters and Kevin Profico on that one. As this ball gets away, here comes a turnover. Norwood coming up with it. Almost got ripped away, but a second chance high off the glass and a foul. They'll call this one a shooting foul. And now Kyrie Henry will go to the line to shoot 2. It is the 6th foul against the Roadrunners, so one more will be a 1-and-1 bonus. Henry with 3 points already. First shot is no good. And then on Saturday, we travel up to Warren County for the quarterfinal round of the Hunterdon Warren Sussex tournament. The number 9 seed, Phillipsburg, plays the number 1 seed, Warren Hills, the Blue Streaks, at 1 p.m. on Saturday the 7th. Henry makes both, makes one of 2. And it's 19-15. 4-point lead for the Roadrunners, again against a 15-8 team, a team that is 8 wins better than the Roadrunners. As Sacco fires it out.
5v4 right now. Players hurt for Camden.
Oh, yeah. He's holding his head. There's a 3 by Davis, and they're going to call time here.
There was a collision between Desir Williams Bay and Kyrie Henry. Henry took a shoulder from Williams Bay right to the head. It was inadvertent because Williams Bay was just trying to set a screen, and it just, his head or his shoulder went right into his head.
Yeah, so Kyrie Henry, who just went to the foul stripe and made a shot, is holding his head. At least Spalding may attend to him, but he will now go to the sideline. And again, definitely not in the best of shape as we'll resume play. Ball gets pucked out by Amara Sacco. 7:45 left in the first half here from the Roadrunner gym. Good crowd on hand on a Thursday night. This is the Roadrunners' last game of the regular season. While the men are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, the women will play in the quarterfinals on Tuesday, February 24th. And then if they make it to the semifinals, that would be on Thursday the 26th, as we've got a offensive foul. It will be on Aiden Copestick. And now 6 fouls against each team. So the next one will draw the 1-1. 21-15, Roadrunners lead by 6. Camden right now is the 6th seed in Region 19. We talked about Salem. They are 24-1. At the last poll, they're number 3 in the nation. Number 1 is Dallas Richland, which feels like one of the most premier athletic departments in JUCO all throughout the country. This ball gets pucked out, or gets tapped out, back to Williams Bay.
Got to get a shot off, down to 5 on the shot clock.
And a foul with 5 on the shot clock. And Abatista not thrilled. How likely do you think it's going to be that Lou's going to get a tech before the end of the night?
Oh, yeah. I felt like that call was a little late as they were going the other way.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I could give him, benefit of the doubt for. As the 1-1, first shot is no good, or the only shot is no good by Lassiter.
Kind of a ball don't lie type moment right there, I would say.
Moving in is Crawford, guarded heavily by Sacco. Copestick sets the screen, creates some space. Roadrunners in a deep 3-2. Going up, foul. Samir Crawford got hit, and he'll go to the line. So both teams with a early bonus, not as early as the Atlantic Cape game on Saturday, but yeah, the top 3 right now, Salem at 24-1, Brookdale at 17-6, Northampton at 20-3, Union at 19-6, and Montgomery at 14-4. Camden sits in 6th in overall record at 15-8. And then 7 through 9 is Bergen, Ocean, and Atlantic Cape. 10 is RCSJ Cumberland. Gloucester is 17-8. I'm sorry, 7-18 in the 11 spot. And then beneath them, Philadelphia at 11-10, Thaddeus Stevens at 9-12, Harrisburg at 5-15, Passaic at 4-19, Sussex at 7-17, Delco at 3-19, and Luzerne at 4-19. 30-second timeout called by John Bird. Will stay here as both foul shots were good by the Cougars, and will stay right here. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. Book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 6 minutes from Route 55. Starting for next week, we have Tri-County Royal basketball right down the road from here at GCIT versus the Kingsway Dragons. That'll be a 5:30 p.m. tip-off. And then on Tuesday, we've got Riverside and Cinnaminson in the Burlington County play-in tournament. Winner plays number 1 seed Lenape. Then after that, Wednesday, we've got another and our final ice hockey game of the season from the Hollydale Ice Arena as the Red Bank Catholic Casey's visit the Gloucester Catholic Rams. 3:05 puck drop. Then on Thursday, got more basketball coming from from Paulsboro, New Jersey. It's Audubon and Paulsboro in the Colonial Conference. Then on Friday, Millville and Hamilton in Cape Atlantic League play. And then on Saturday, it's a doubleheader in the first round of the Burlington County Tournament. The girls for West Hampton Tech play Delran at 9:30 a.m. And at 11 a.m., the boys play Burlington Township. So it should be a fun doubleheader on DWB to close out a busy week. As Zaire Green moves in, he's got 6:35 in the first half, and Green off the bench gets his first contribution to fall.
It's a really good finish there. Ben McGonigal blocked that shot, and that second effort got it up and in.
Yeah, McGonigal, again, doesn't seem like a guy that has a lot of hops. He's a small guard, but Green is going to foul. McGonigal definitely has some sneaky jumpiness to him, and he's going to go to the foul line here after Green fouled him. Team's 8th, first personal for Zaire Green. First shot is good. Green, the product of Overbrook, who got fouled there. McGonigal's second is no good. So McGonigal gets 1 of 2, and it's now 23-18. Green scored nearly 800 points with Overbrook underneath the legendary Donnie Lang, who won 25 games last year. Moves it back out to Green. Under 6 to play. Julian Johnson. Back to Williams Bay. Push foul. McGonigal doesn't like it. Abatista doesn't like it. But they don't have to like it. That's just how it is. It's a foul.
It's a good call. He extended his arms.
I think that's the right call.
That's the textbook definition of a push. You can't extend your arms into the offensive player and force him out of bounds. That's exactly what happened there.
Jasir Williams Bay, the Kingsway grad, goes to the line as the first shot is good. Assistant coach Rich Cooper, who also leads the women's team, he had a little bit of a chat with the remaining 5 starters on the floor, remaining 5 on the floor right now, as Williams Bay misses his second. So it's Williams Bay, Lassiter, Cranmer, Johnson, and Green. For Camden, it's Copestick, McGonigal, Norwood, who fires it off the glass. And then it is going to be Nemberd and Robinson.
It's a great job there by Camden to break the fast break, but that's an even better response.
That is a great way to get back into it as Ace Lassiter, 10 points. 27-20. 7-point lead as Copestick has it on the volleyball corner. Fires a pass down. Norwood gets it back out to Copestick, sliding to his left for 3. No good. And it goes back to Johnson. 5 minutes to play. Wide open. Lassiter off the glass and good. He makes up for his mistake going for a dunk last time. Now he gets a powerful layup. Back to 9. Out on the right. Norwood in the lane, it's good. Green wanted a charge, but no whistles.
Felt like that could have been an N1 because he left his feet early to try and take that charge.
Yeah, instead of trying to get the charge, they kind of both teams ended up neutral there. As here goes Williams Bay. This one's up, falls short. McGonigal's got it. Oh, hard collision. Green sets up shot. Green disagrees.
Got him around that head. Got him around the neck area. That's going to be a foul all day, every day, no matter what the contact is there.
Got 2 subs coming in for Camden. It will be Henry back in, who had the injury earlier, and it will be Sue Elaine. But no word of Mikey Campbell yet. He is sitting on the bench with tape around his right wrist. But depending on how this game goes for Camden, and considering Williams is not a starter, or Campbell rather is not a starter, they may just kind of let it go. They do have a pretty deep bench.
It's funny because he's the leading scorer on this team.
Yeah. But sometimes you don't have to be a starter to get your chops in, especially if you can be a really good performer off the bench, as McGonigal misses his second for the Ocean City grad. Moving this one up is Green. Cranmer gets it in with heavy pressure from Norwood. Ball comes out. Out on the right side. Green goes up through contact. He gets fouled. And Cranmer, no, it'll be Green to go to the line. That was the one who shot it. We've had a really even fouling attack. We've seen each team go up by 1 apiece each time. We had 7 fouls apiece. We had 8 fouls apiece, and now we have 9 apiece. As first one from Green does not go. Remember, because it's a shooting foul, he's guaranteed 2 shots.
One of the better free throw shooters on this team, shooting it at an 80.6% clip.
Well,
0 for 2.
Second shot doesn't go. I'm finally free of the announcer's jinx. Now that one's on you.
Yep.
Green
happens way too many times.
Fires it out to Johnson for 3. Julian Johnson knocks down the left wing 3, and it's now 32-23. Back out over to the corner. Cross-court pass.
Oh.
McGonigal. Nice move inside
pass.
for Norwood. He's got 10. Back to a 7-point lead. And this one, Williams Bay makes McGonigal miss. And they'll go back to their defensive set here at the half court. 3:30 to play in the first half. Cranmer fires out to the corner. Johnson has it again. Back to Williams Bay. Green sets a play. 10 to shoot. Johnson gets it to Cranmer. 5 to shoot. Back to Green. They're running out of time. They don't see it. Cranmer gets it off with 2. No good. We get back rolling. But at least it hit the rim, so no stop and play. Norwood waited for Lassiter to get right on top of him. It's a foul, and it's a double bonus for Camden. So 2 shots from here until the end of the half.
Great patience there shown by Norwood to draw the foul there. Lassiter just getting a little bit overzealous there, trying for a block. Norwood played right into that overzealousness from Lassiter.
First shot is no good.
It's a fun environment here for JUCO basketball. All the fans here getting into it, both sides going back and forth. This really feels like just one big game of tug of war.
Well, I'll tell you, for the fact that this game is between one of the top teams in the region versus a team that's mathematically eliminated by several games from the playoffs, I remember this game being nearly sold out when we were here in November of 2024. Oh, Davis takes a slide. That's a travel. That's a travel all day, every day. But again, what I'll say is that this game was nearly sold out when these two teams met in early November 2024, and that was because both teams were projected to be good. I think the Roadrunners won 12 or 13 games last year, and they missed the playoffs, but they were looking a lot more promising with a brand new starting 5. So what was different was that it was the beginning of the season, it was before winter break, and there was a lot less known about these teams. So a lot of guys wanted to come out and watch these teams play. This is still a good crowd, and honestly, this is better than most of the crowds I see from the visiting side this year. You know, going to almost every game, I see a lot of empty seats. This, by comparison, is pretty good. McGonigal chucks it up with 5 to shoot. He is fouled. And Camden will go back to the line again.
I know McGonigal can shoot the 3. He's been open a couple times beyond the arc. Just want to see him pull it. One of the better shooters on this team.
Chavez de Jesus will get ready to check in with Camden over to double bonus. First shot, no good.
I apologize. I was thinking of a different player on the Cougars. He doesn't have a made 3 so far on the year. That's McGonigal. He's 0 for 6 from 3.
And with a small guard like that, you'd think that he'd be a shooter of some kind, but that one falls. But I'll tell you as well, I mean, you wouldn't be incredibly wrong for thinking that. He made 28 threes as a high school player for Ocean City, but he only made 6 in his first 2 seasons. He made 22 of his 28 career threes as a senior for Ocean City in 2024 to 25. It's going to be out of bounds. And Abatista, a cherry red expression.
I think both two Cougars just ran into each other on that play right there.
Yeah, that just looks like a little incidental right there.
I think Abatista wanted a foul there, but not going to get one when two of your own players run into each other.
Yeah, that's the issue there. As Davis will inbound, you've got to find somebody. There's 11 on the shot clock.
I say shot clock didn't reset, so you got to hurry.
Williams up and in, got the roll. 34-27, 7-point lead for the Roadrunners. And 1:45 now here in the first half. Here in a bit of a shocker. Roadrunners playing well as a 7-win team versus a 15-win Camden County club, who again is without their leading scorer. We haven't seen much of Mikey Campbell, their leading scorer, who went down with a wrist injury in the first 5 minutes. Hasn't been back since. They're going to call this I don't know what they called it there. Got a foul. It's going to be a blocking foul on Davis. Yeah, both coaches don't seem thrilled. Bird or Abatista do not seem too happy with the officiating crew tonight, as the first shot is good by Norwood. He leads the scoring attack for Camden with 12.
Kind of feel like the officials are letting a lot of contact go, unless if it's egregious, and then they're
Oh, good. McGonigal gets Williams Bay to miss. They'll move now with a minute left. No good there. Lassiter has it. Moving in. Williams Bay up and foul. I'll tell you as well, though, I recognize all three of these referees from my high school broadcasts, including especially the gentleman closest to us and then the gentleman with the basketball. He does a whole bunch of football refereeing as well. We've talked with him plenty of times as a clock operator, but Williams' first shot is good. But what I'll say is that when you are a high school ref that also refs college, at the high school level, they tell these guys to call everything, to call every whistle. That's kind of directed to them. And in JUCO, the direction is a little bit different. So when you are a high school ref who also, referees at the junior college level, you're going to see a bit of a difference in philosophy, and that pendulum might swing a little bit more than these coaches want it to. And this is going to go Camden's way. Or no, it's going to go RCSJ's way, excuse me.
Yeah, possession arrow facing the Roadrunners. Oh.
Don't know what happened there. They've got something going on with the microphones. There's 33 seconds left. There's a 10-second separation as Sacco gets it to fall. 38-29, the Roadrunners will go, or should go, into the halftime break with a lead over one of the best, number 6 in the region, as Norwood fouled. And a bit of an optical illusion there, as it looked like the ball went through, but it was just short. Almost got wedged on the side of the basket. Now Norwood will go to the line for 2 more, try to make this a 7-point game. Shot clock is erased. We've got 17 and a half here in the first half of competition from Deptford Township, New Jersey. First shot is good. Norwood with 14. He leads Camden's scoring attack as Lassiter has 12. 38 for RCSJ, 30 for the Cougars. Second shot is good. 15 for Batson Norwood. Now with 15 seconds left, Roadrunners will hold to try to get the last shot. He's got 10. Davis to DeJesus, another underhand flip. He sets a screen. He's got 6. Moves over to the corner. Sacco wide open for 3. No good. DeJesus gets a putback with 1.5. Airballs it. And that's the end of the half here from Deptford as the Roadrunners versus one of the best to do it in the region. They've got a 7-point lead. We'll see how the Cougars respond, as this is going to be a fun next 20 minutes of play. We'll be back in 15 minutes. It's the Roadrunners 38 and the Cougars 31.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well.
The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious.
Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need.
And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives.
If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Welcome back to Rowan College of South Jersey. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by my partner in crime, Sam Goldberg, on the call of Robert Morris University. We've got a good one on hand, and definitely a bit of a surprise candidate in a 38-31 lead for the RCSJ Roadrunners over the Camden County College Cougars. Again, Camden is number 6 in Region 19 in regular season play. Regular season play wraps up just next weekend on the 14th. And again, playoffs start the week after. RCSJ is eliminated from the playoffs. There is zero path unless a few teams get, unless there's a gladiator fight on the court and there's, the only way that RCSJ gets in is if something astronomical happens to somebody else. And even then, mathematically it's not there, but it would have to be of the NJCAA committee. My point is, though, not talking about hypotheticals, is that Camden is in. They're 15-8. There's no way they can dip below 500, so there's no way that they can miss the playoffs, and they're a top 8 team right now. So everything's going well for them except for this game, as Cranmer can't get the shot to fall. They wanted a second chance, but it ends up going for Amara Sacco, and it's a 9-point lead, 40-31.
Still no sign of Mikey Campbell for...
Well, there's a sign of him, but he's on the bench.
That's
the
true.
thing. He's on the bench, but he's taped up with his right hand, and he has not appeared in the game since that injury 5 minutes in.
And he is their leading scorer for the Cougars, and it's a big part, especially with the playoffs right here. If he can't go today, what's telling the extent of his injury heading into the playoffs?
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but wrists are some of the most fragile bones in the body, and wrist injuries can sometimes mean you're out for 4 to 6 weeks, and it's always an interesting sign, if he's going to be okay. Camden County's next game is on February 7th, a noon tip-off at the Papiano Gym in Union County as they face off against the UCNJ Owls. Second shot is good, and Lou Abatista calls a timeout after both foul shots fall for Norwood. We'll take a quick break, 40-33. Lou Abatista called the timeout, his first 30. He has 4 total remaining. Aiden Copestick had a little bit of contact with Amara Sacco on the inbound there as Lassiter comes in. Back to Cranmer. They'll spin around, back to Cranmer on the right side. Guarded by Norwood. 2 forwards going up. Cranmer foul. So a bit more whistles here in the second half as we have our first foul. And they're going to send Aiden Cranmer, the West Deptford grad who scored 1,000 points in his high school career, to the line.
Well, you mentioned Lou Abatista's name a lot today. It's his 15th season as the head coach for the Cougars. He's been a Cougars coach since 2006 when he signed a job offer here to be an associate head coach in 2006, then took over the job in 2011.
Yeah, it feels like that's a common thing with Camden County specifically, is to have a lot of long-tenured head coaches. They've done the same in soccer. They've done the same with softball with Chip Rattano. John Scanzano hasn't been around for too long for baseball. He's only been around since 2023. But it still feels like he could have another 10 or 20 years in him at Camden County with how good of a program he's building over there. So I'm sure that they have a lot of confidence in their staff across all sports. As Cranmer, after handing it off to Lassiter, set a screen. Ball comes out. Crawford falls on it, gets it off to Copestick, and a foul. So that will be a foul at center court. It's going to be charged against Amara Sacco, and that's his 4th.
Oh, my.
So that is already – now, Sacco is not normally a starter for the Roadrunners. He's actually had more time on the floor than he really has all season. Not combined, but I just mean per game. He spent a lot more time than he normally does on the floor. Copestick can't hit the fadeaway. We've got a shot waved off. They're going to say it's on Cranmer. Or will they say – it said it was on 21, but was it on –
it was on White 21.
Okay, so that would be Aiden Cranmer. That's his 3rd, team's 3rd. So the Roadrunners, despite their lead, that's the one thing that Camden's got going for them. If they can run the Roadrunners into foul trouble, you can kind of push your way in to getting some guys disqualified and out of the game. As that looks like a double tip there. Jump ball right on top of the paint. Coming up with it is Davis. Possession arrow goes to the Roadrunners. Abatista, again, not thrilled, but Green inbounds to Williams Bay. Green will take this one up. Oh, hard fall there. You could hear that one through the headset.
That should have been a foul.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's Lassiter. Whoa, he tried to draw the three-point foul. And Aiden Copestick will get called for the foul. But that's Ace Lassiter has done that several times this year where he will chuck up a shot with the full intention of drawing a foul. He's great at that. He got that one right there. And he will now have 3 shots. His first is good. Under 2 minutes gone in the second half. 42-33, 9-point lead for RCSJ. Second shot is good. So if Lassiter can go 3 for 3, it's just like he hit the shot at the top of the key, and he does. John Bird will call a timeout, and so will we. 17:56 left in the second half, 44-33. Our timeout was a little bit truncated. Lou Abatista got into a heated exchange with the referee, but he was not given a technical foul for it, nor was he given any kind of warning. So Abatista, again, we mentioned that he is going to stick up for his guys. He's going to stick up for the team, even if he has to take some heat for it. That's exactly what we've got. As we had a 30-second timeout, but now Abatista's, I don't know if he was confused
Still
about
going.
whether this was a 30 or a full.
He's still going.
He's going to keep going until they, until they give him a reason not to.
Always like a coach like that, sticking up for your players. If you're going to fight for me, I'll fight for you. Ooh.
There's a foul.
I thought that ball got deflected away before the contact.
Yeah, it's going to be on Davis, and Norwood will go to the line. Neither Bird or Abatista like this
They're calling
call.
it on the floor.
They're going to call it on the floor.
How?
And now, yeah, he wants a shooting foul, but
now the foul's on 20. Wait, there's
no, it's on 12. It's Davis.
That's weird. I don't know why the official came over and signaled 20. Anyways.
That one's good. Cranmer's got it. And that's behind us now as it's 46-33, a 13-point lead for the Roadrunners.
This is so surprising of a result right here. That's a great pass.
And a bit of a slam. Technical.
There it is.
And it's going to be on the Roadrunners. Wait, no, who is this on?
It's on the 21
It's on Aiden
White.
Cranmer. So he must have said something. So after the dunk, I don't know if it was a dunk or maybe as close as you can get to one.
Initially.
And by the way, it was Mikey Campbell.
Campbell, yeah, he's back in. Campbell thought that was going to be on him for potentially hanging on the rim, but he never hung on the rim.
He never touched the rim. He just kind of floated above it. So we're going to get a first tee foul shot from Zamir Crawford. And again, I can't really disagree or agree with tees like that because our mics aren't good enough to pick up things said on the floor. And I tell people I don't want my mics to be good enough to hear what people say on the floor.
That's a good point.
Coaches or players.
How to get demonetized on YouTube.
Exactly.
Very quickly.
I would rather keep that a secret.
That's a...
As Camden.
Yeah, it's white ball. There we go.
Okay.
I feel like that turned into a LeBron James moment. It's our ball, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it's our ball.
Yeah. Well, Green will take this one.
This is an intense basketball game right here.
Again, given the circumstances, these are two teams that are at completely different junctures in the season. RCSJ is out. Camden is in. This is the sophomore night for RCSJ. They're playing for team and personal pride. Camden is vying for as best of a playoff spot as they can get in a crowded Region 19 field that includes the number 3 team in the country. 3, no good by Williams Bay. I don't hate that shot, but it's still a 9-point game.
Campbell's wincing after that rebound, still holding his wrist. I don't think he's 100%.
Again, if you're just joining us, he fell on his right wrist after getting kind of wiped out by Hajir Davis 5 minutes into the ball game. Went into the trainer's room, was on the bench for the rest of the first half. This is his first appearance since that fall. And taking another spill. That's not Campbell.
Done.
No, that's not Campbell. That's Sue Elaine that's down.
After that drive.
So he went up to the basket, and now he takes a hard fall. But you can see on the bottom right of your screen, Campbell is still wincing, and Elaine walking up to the free throw line to shoot, but he is definitely in some pain. They're going to get 2 subs ready in, Cam Nembert and Singletary. So Elaine will shoot 2. 46-37, 3 minutes gone in the second half. First shot is airballed, and you can really see the effect there. He is hurting, and it affected his shooting form. As you could see, he was really—
He can't really bend.
He was really nowhere near the basket. So he's just got to give this the best he can, and then he's going to get subbed out. And he makes that one. That's great. So he will make his second shot, rather, but now he will sub out of the game. And now 2 of Camden's most dynamic players are now pretty banged up in Sue Elaine and Mikey Campbell. Here comes Lassiter. 3-on-1 gets denied. Back at half court. Here come the Cougars. This one's up too strong. Johnson couldn't bring that one down. Green does. He's thrown to the ground. That is going to be a trap, and it's going to be Camden ball. That'll be a jump.
Bit of a discussion back here now between coach and ref.
Yeah, listen, neither of these coaches, Bird or Abatista, are going to be thrilled looking back at the tape tonight. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but when they look at, what these two teams are able to do, I'm sure Abatista and Bird, while this is a bit of an intense rivalry, you'd also have to say that both of the coaches seem to also have a rivalry with the crew in black and white tonight. As Williams Bay bounce pass, he was running out of time and had to go to a contested Davis to get it off within 5 seconds.
Got that in with like half a second left.
Just barely. Davis, foot on the line, left wing, back to Lassiter. Spins around, finds Davis in the corner. He'll move inside on the baseline, short. And all clean there.
I would have rather him seen that take that long distance shot. He was wide open. Instead, elected for a drive, and 2 defenders were right there.
Yeah, Camden has the height advantage here. When we talked about in the women's game, RCSJ had the height advantage over Camden. Here, Camden has the height advantage over RCSJ in the men's game. And honestly, any team has an advantage over RCSJ. They basically run 5 guards, except for when Habes de Jesus is on the floor. I mean, really, Aiden Cranmer is like a small forward kind of. He's really the only guy other than that who can shoot and drive. You do also have Jerome Cuff, who has not appeared in this game tonight, which is surprising. He's gotten a sizable amount of minutes during his freshman season as well out of Timber Creek. First shot, no good.
It's the third foul on Davis, so he's going to have to check out of this one.
And speaking of, Chavez de Jesus comes back in. De Jesus, in his freshman season, 3.5 points per game and 1.5 rebounds. Second shot is good from Crawford. It's now 46-39. Crawford has 7. Green to Williams Bay. Out to the far corner. Lassiter back to the top. Spinning around. Wanted to find Johnson. Offensive foul.
That just fired up Camden's bench right there.
And the visiting crowd as well.
The boys are humming right now for Camden. Roadrunners got to do something to quiet this right now.
This is more of the Camden that we're used to here. I mean, they are loud, they are inspired. They seem like they're playing way different basketball than they did in the first half, with a different crew of guys out there as well. As Nemard goes in, second chance, no good, third chance, falls in. And John Bird wanted a timeout, but he wasn't granted the timeout. They didn't see him.
They didn't see it. They didn't see the timeout. Got to play this possession here.
It's De Jesus, unless they want to call the timeout mid-possession. As Williams Bay goes up and in, didn't need the timeout.
Oh my gosh, what a move!
Williams Bay with a little spin cycle. 48-41. As now moving Crawford at the top, guarded by Johnson. Falling away, up, and a foul. No and one as the basket fell short, but Samai Singletary will go to the line for 2.
I feel like I think this is what, his 7th trip at the line so far. He's been living at the free throw line because
Estevan Norwood, not Samai Singletary.
He's had such good positioning in his post play, whether it's been with the left hand, right hand. He's able to control his body, control his swing, and draw the contact.
Yeah, Norwood leads both teams scoring with 18. He's the only Camden player with 10+. Second shot is good. Low arcing shot falls, and it's 19 for Estevan Norwood. 48-43, 5-point game. The gap is closing, and so is the margin for error, which is something that many teams have made tonight, errors. Foul. And not too pleased that time was Christian Durham, the Phelps School graduate, right outside in Glassboro. A little apologetic that time.
It's his 3rd. Just got a little too aggressive there on the double team.
And again, Camden is one of the earliest bonuses you're going to see. They've already got 9 fouls. RCSJ has 9 fouls in the first 6 minutes. Not even 6 minutes, 5.5. Foul and 1. Speaking of fouls, there's another. Zaire Green comes up with that. So he'll get a chance for a 3-point play as the Roadrunners finally have a little bit of juice in the tank. They've hit the half centennial mark. It's 50-43.
I had a little bit of flair on that finish right there. My gosh, through 2 defenders. A little around the world finish. That's a huge basket.
And the and one is no good, but Williams Bay almost picked up the rebound. It goes back to the Cougars. Over up the right side at half court, he'll backpedal. Didn't get in front of the half court line. He barely gets it off in time. Had 10 seconds, used nearly all of it. Whoa. Singletary airballs on the 3. Gets another chance through traffic and in.
He's just so good.
Norwood.
So good on the low block.
And that is the one kryptonite, maybe not the one kryptonite, but the major kryptonite that RCSJ has is defending Estevan Norwood. He set up a good defensive stand. Here comes Johnson, left wing, 3, no good. And it goes back to the Cougars who bring this one up, trying to get it through contact, trying to draw the foul. He'll feed it out. Going up, Crawford, through traffic, fouled by Johnson.
Can't run away from the play like that. Might get a tech. Can't run away from the play like that.
Yeah, Johnson basically ran all the way down the floor. And you're right, Sam. But with how much this crew has let go, that might be another thing to add to the list. As at the line is Zamir Crawford.
I felt like that was a good call. I felt like he got him right on the wrist as he went up.
Yeah.
But free throws have been killing this Camden team. I feel like that's like the 7th or 8th miss from the line.
They already have a double bonus, 6.5 minutes into the second half. This is going to be a long finish to this game if Camden keeps getting fouled. But the Roadrunners have to play aggressively or else they're going to get open looks, and Camden's very good at that. There's another miss from Zamir Campbell. He's got only 2 points in this game. Again, Norwood leads with 21 as Williams Bay turns around, has an open look, stops on it, fires, blocked. Goes back to Norwood. 13-15 left in the second half. Now moving inside, open look, denied, Davis foul. That's the right call. There's a couple of folks who don't like it, but they've been standing and screaming all night, and they're not, they're not going to.
It's kind of back and forth. Every call is going to be 50-50. Half the crowd enjoys the call, half the crowd doesn't like the call. That time there, I enjoyed that call. That's the correct call.
That's absolutely the right call, but before they can go to the line, and after Hyzier Davis had an aggressive foul, his fourth, we'll take a break. It's a full 13-10 left in the second half. It's RCSJ 50 and Camden County 45. Welcome back. This broadcast is brought to you by the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, Dog Pro Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. Visit dawgprowrestling.com for more information. John Bird, first-year head coach for the Roadrunners, called a timeout. Bird took over with very short notice, took over in October of 2025 for the resigning Brandon Williams, who now is an assistant at Deptford. But John Bird, being an assistant of this team and also a longtime coach in the local AAU circuit over in Philadelphia. But, Sam, we were talking during the break as Cam Rembert is at the line now for his first shot. It is good. If you're Camden, you have the double bonus. Drive to the basket every single time.
Absolutely.
That is, you made a great point by saying it, and I'm going to, use your words there because that is exactly what Camden needs to do. Drive to the basket because this RCSJ team is either going to get aggressive and they're going to foul, or they're not going to be aggressive, which would be a mistake, and they would just let up easy shots. It's a lose-lose situation right now, if that's what they choose to do.
Absolutely. I don't want to see Camden take a shot for like the next couple of minutes beyond 15 feet.
Here comes a three, no good from Green. Not a fan of that shot there. Is now sliding on it. He falls. They wanted to travel. Copestick comes up, and there's no whistle.
It's a good no call. He tripped on his own and didn't move. That's a great no call.
Here comes a spin. Norwood up. They drove. Now he's fouled again.
I thought they could have called a foul on the first shot, or they get the foul on the second shot. It's the 11th team foul now this half for the Roadrunners.
Well, at least it's not what we had on Saturday versus Atlantic Cape when the Buccaneers and the Roadrunners combined for 25 team fouls in the first half. First half took nearly an hour to play, 57 minutes. As those foul line troubles strike again, Cranmer is back into the game after picking up a tee earlier in the half, which, again, it's 8:44. These games scheduled to tip off at 5 and 7. We were about 20 minutes late on the first game. We're nearly at the 9 o'clock hour. It's a little bit late night basketball here as Norwood finally breaks his woes, breaks the cold streak, and he makes the foul shot. He's got 22 for the forward tonight out of Dover, Delaware, the home of Delaware State University. This feeds out to Cranmer, tries to clear the space with a quick pump fake. Here comes Davis, up and in. He is fouled. Basket
on the
counts.
floor. On the floor.
No. Well,
or was that where that basket counts?
No, they counted the basket. That's why I was going to interrupt, because they said they counted the basket. I don't think it should have counted.
I thought it was on the floor. I don't think
that.
Wow.
He absolutely took an extra step after that foul.
I didn't think he had continuation, but the officials see it differently.
No, he absolutely took an extra step after that foul, and he's going to get an and one. As it's 53-48. That is a lucky break for RCSJ.
1,000% agree with that, Dan.
And that could shift the momentum here if Camden gets on a couple of cold streaks. Oh, that's a travel.
That's a travel.
Wow.
Oh, man.
How do you not call that as McGonigal gets it to fall? Somebody call American Airlines. Oh, my goodness. I mean, Aiden Copestick just, that's hopscotch. That's hopscotch. Here goes Davis. Too strong. Williams Bay puts it up and in. Oh, my goodness.
At least the officials are not letting the crowd noise sway their calls.
That would be the worst case scenario, because then that takes the integrity out of the game.
Oh,
here comes a steal. Williams Bay, open look, two-hand lay. 14 points for Williams Bay, 7-point lead. The intensity's heating up, interception. Back across the way, Hajir Davis, fouled.
No, I disagree with that one. I felt like there was contact with the basketball. I think the Cougars have every right to be upset with that. I felt like it was all ball on the way to the basket.
That is the 6th foul against Camden. And this is one of the most intense crowds for a JUCO game I have seen in my 2 years here. And the other one that was maybe more intense was against Camden last year.
And the beauty of JUCO basketball and in an atmosphere like this, all these players, there's no NIL money involved. There's no scholarships money involved. It is all just pure heart and will to play the game.
And a desire to continue, as we've got a timeout, a sub. Excuse me. I thought Abatista called a timeout. But second shot went for Hajir Davis. He's got 5.
Cougars need to be aggressive here. They got to attack the basket. You're in the double bonus. You gotta attack here.
Force contact one way or another, absolutely. But both teams have been getting away with a lot. Like Copestick got away with a travel. Here comes a shot. That's inside.
See, that I like.
And that is what you were looking for. Foul and one. Estevan Norwood.
Shots inside 15 feet should be the game plan for this Cougar team. You set up Norwood for the offensive rebound, and that is textbook right there, what you should be doing in the double bonus.
And with over a half of a half, you've got 10:50 left. You've had this double bonus for nearly 3 minutes. You're going to have the double bonus for 13 of your 20 minutes on the floor in the second half. That is astounding. I mean, even in NCAA Division I, you don't see that often. That's not something to take lightly, and it's not something that they should throw away. Here comes Lasser, double guarded, ball comes out. It goes back to Nemberd, and too strong. Norwood out of bounds, Camden ball.
Look at the crowd.
This is unbelievable.
Everybody's pointing every direction.
This is great. Listen, what are the games you've done with me this year? You've done the girls basketball at Haddon Township. You did a Timber Creek Kingsway basketball game. This might be the most intense of them all. It's back out to the corner. They've got 15 to shoot after the inbound. Goes back to Nembert. A lot of this crowd standing. Nembert up. No foul. And that's RCSJ ball.
I'm surprised the foul wasn't called there. That was clear as day contact on the shot.
And again, you can see why both coaches are frustrated here in a game that matters for very different reasons to both of these teams. It matters for a pride reason for RCSJ. It matters for a logistical reason for Camden. It matters for a success factor reason for Camden, as Davis is fouled. And that's now 7. So RCSJ will get now to the 1-and-1 threshold.
Timeout Cougars.
Lou Abatista calls a timeout. It is let's see if they call a full or a 30. We're going to go to break nonetheless. 58-53. Roadrunners lead the Cougars by 5. Welcome back. The schedule for the rest of the week on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We've got non-conference basketball on Friday tomorrow, February 6th in Mullica Hill, as Vineland visits Clearview. Vineland leads the Cape Atlantic United Division at 15-3, and then Clearview at 10-12. Bit of a young project, as they've got the 2 young freshmen, Mike Pilecchia and the 6'4" Darren Riddick. As on Saturday we go up to Warren Hills in Washington Township. No, not this Washington Township. The Washington Township an hour and a half away for the quarterfinal round of the Hunterdon Warren Sussex tournament between the Phillipsburg Stateliners and the Warren Hills Blue Streaks. First shot by Davis was good. Then back in action on Monday the 9th, Kingsway versus GCIT. Tuesday the 10th, Riverside versus Cinnaminson in the Burlington County play-in, and we'll resume at the next break. 10 minutes left. It feels like it has been an eternity in the second half, but it really has been. 18 team fouls. RCSJ is over the double bonus. A little bit of a stutter shot, and it's good. There have not been many threes in this game from Camden County, but one falls that time by number 22 in Christian Durham. And you know what, Sam? I'm realizing it now. That was the discrepancy all the way back in the first half that led to that technical foul, because Durham was not in the book. He is number 22, and he is listed as number 13 in the book. Gets away. Scramble.
That's jump ball.
Jump ball. They'll get him separated. They're still holding on to the basketball.
I think possession arrow
will go
Roadrunners.
it'll go to RCSJ here. 9:10 left in the half. Davis will inbound. Nearing the 9 o'clock hour here at RCSJ. Games don't usually take this long, but for a game as thrilling as this, no better way to have it on sophomore night, with the Roadrunners looking to take their pride to the next level by looking to take down the Camden County Cougars, although this game is starting to slip a little bit. Here comes the pass inside. Williams Bay stops on it. Fouled! No basket. That is the 8th foul for Camden. RCSJ still solidly in the 1-and-1 threshold. The foul is called, who is it against? It's going to be against McGonigal. So 1-1 for Williams Bay, who has 14. His first is good. This is actually going to, I'm sorry, because it's a shooting foul, it'll be automatic 2. They will send Lassiter in, Johnson out. The Sterling grad out of Summerdale, who played in that very tough Colonial Conference for a Sterling team that was a top 3 seed in Camden County last year. As Williams Bay makes both. He takes over the scoring lead with 16 for RCSJ. Norwood still leads for Camden with 25. Over to the right side. McGonigal, the 5'9" guard out of Ocean City, down in Atlantic County in the very competitive Cape Atlantic American. Looking to get out of it. He does. He'll take a 3. No good. From Kyrie Henry, but they'll get the putback.
That was basically a pass off the backboard.
It's more or less what it was, but it counts just the same. So Norwood now up to 27 points. As here comes a 3.
That's not a smart shot.
Now they're up by 4. Out on the left side, he'll move inside. Norwood with a mismatch. He got it.
Keep feeding it to Norwood.
Norwood versus Lassiter is not going to be a good matchup. Lassiter is an offense-first guard, but that's exactly how Adabista wants it. That's exactly how he wants it. Cranmer shoots from the semicircle. No good. Comes back down.
They're forcing up shots.
They're forcing up shots that they do not need to do. In a sake of urgency, Davis is down. They're going to move back out to the corner. Camden can tie the game with a 2. Take the lead with a 3.
Ooh.
Up and travel.
I felt like I heard a slap up from here.
I don't know, but that might have
unless that came from the stands,
or that was his feet hitting the floor. I don't know, but
that sounded like a slap and a half.
Yeah, our headsets are pretty good, but it's Kyrie Henry called for a travel, and RCSJ gets another break, 62-60. 7:20 left in the second half. Glad you're with us. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Sam Goldberg. Here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting on YouTube. Our last JUCO game of the regular season before the spring starts with baseball on February 21st. Over to the right side. Takes his time for another 3. No good. That would have given them the lead. It's back to McGonigal. Not a 3-point shooter. Here comes another 3 to take the lead. No good. Williams Bay rebound, not cleanly, and it's Camden ball. Williams Bay just couldn't keep that ball in his hands. Lassiter wanted it. It was last touched by a Roadrunner, though.
Kind of like the girls, kind of like the women's game. Cougars were right there. Just couldn't get a basket to take the lead.
Over to the right side, 62-60 Camden. Now over to the left for McGonigal. Over to the right. Back over for McGonigal. Oh. Wow, we were talking all night about how he's not a 3-point shooter, and he almost took another one. He's 0 for 7 on the season as Lassiter from the foul stripe. Do not rush the shot. I'm going to say it again. Do not rush the shot. That is what's killing the Roadrunners right now. As Lassiter took that shot about 20 seconds too early. As now trapped over the middle. It's back to Durham to tie. No good. Cranmer falls on him. And a foul. It's on the floor. It's going to be against Lassiter.
Is that 5? No.
That's
5.
It's 5. Lassiter is out.
There goes their leading scorer.
Ace Lassiter, such a good asset for this Roadrunners team. Now bows out way earlier than they would have liked. And now they're going to bring in Hajir Davis, who has 4. So there's really no winning this situation.
They have
because Lassiter's fouled out,
4-2,
and Cranmer's sitting on a tee as well. So
rolling the dice.
I mean, it's like 3 of these Roadrunner players are teetering off the edge of a cliff right now. I mean, that's more or less what it is. As you've got Lassiter out, Davis with 4, Cranmer with 4. How many does Williams Bay have? Do we have that down? 3.
3 or 2.
Okay. So pretty much everybody that is a starter on this Roadrunners team, if they haven't been fouled out already, they're close to it. The first shot went. It's a timeout by John Bird. We'll take a break as Zamir Crawford will go to the line for a second shot when we come back. 6:04 left in regulation. This could go anywhere, and a lot of people, they've got their stomachs in a bind. It's a fun one. We'll be right back. Welcome back, 62-61. Zamir Crawford is at the line. He made his first at 62-61.
Just a 63.2% free throw shooter on the season.
If he makes his second, this game is tied. A quiet Jim becomes a loud one. As Zamir Crawford makes the shot, this game is tied, 62 apiece. Here comes Green. Over on the right side, Davis. Over to the right from Johnson, back to Green. Over to Davis. He's got 9 to shoot. Johnson, corner 3. No good. Cranmer brings it down. Pump fakes once, twice, thrice. Can't get it. It goes back, but the shot clock did reset. Davis again. Wow! They created the space, and he's got it. Hajir Davis back to the lead. Did you see that there from Camden? They basically created their own force field. They were guarding them, and then they weren't. They just left them open.
Fake. Excellent pass fake to sway the defense elsewhere.
They had them running into each other there. McGonigal gets the screen, back over to the top, pulls up, semicircle, air ball. Out of bounds on the shot by Kyrie Henry, who again went down with an injury earlier in the game in the first half, but he came back quickly thereafter. But the one that we've seen limited minutes of is Campbell, who had a wrist injury on his right wrist 5 minutes in, and while he did come back early in the second half, he has not been in for the last 12 minutes of play. Over to Johnson, bounce pass, Cranmer, Williams Bay, waits, and it's in. 5-point lead, so this game is not over, and neither is it swinging in the path of the Cougars. The Roadrunners are holding their own, and we've got 4.5 to play. Back to Crawford, guarded by Williams Bay. The intensity is heating up. Moving up, over to the corner, McGonigal. Mid-range, wide left. Hit the side of the backboard, or hit the side of the glass, and it's in for Zamir Crawford. Lou Abatista calls a timeout. It is a full. We'll take a timeout as well, as this has been a fantastic ball game. 67-64, 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a moment. Thursday night basketball here from the Roadrunner Gym here in Deptford, New Jersey. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Sam Goldberg, the former Division I college radio host for Robert Morris University. I'm drawing a blank. The Robert Morris
Colonials.
Colonials, yes. And the Cherokee grad himself, as we've got 4 minutes to play here in the second half. A fantastic ball game, 67-64. RCSJ's biggest lead was 12. Camden has barely led at all tonight.
2-3 defense here for one of the first times tonight by Camden.
Yeah, really switching it up here as Johnson goes inside with 6 to shoot. Ball comes out. Johnson gets it back. Shot clock hasn't reset. I don't know what happened there. No, we're back going again. That shot clock should have reset as it goes up. Foul and one. Chance to tie.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me, Cam Rembert?
Cam Rembert out of Philadelphia, the 6'2" sophomore, off the bench, has himself a basket. And Amara Sacco will check in.
That's 5.
That's 5 for Julian Johnson. Now, Johnson wasn't a starter, but this bench is getting thinner and thinner.
I feel like Sacco has like 4 who just checked in.
Yeah. And we know Cranmer and Davis each have 4. The problem is I only see 2 other players on that bench. Jabez de Jesus and Jerome Cuff, who has not played. So what do? The game is tied. Unfortunately, as is the case with many JUCOs, your roster gets thinner as the year goes on. Players decide to leave. They decide it's not worth it for them, and I get it. I understand why some players go that way. Kasir Baker was a starter when this season started, but now he's no longer on the team. There's a handful of others like Liam Nixon. But as this game goes on, it makes me think, why would these players quit? Because this is amazing basketball. There's a foul. There's an and one. Zamir Crawford gives the Cougars the lead.
The Camden crowd's going nuts. What a finish that was by Crawford. Oh,
that's 5 on Davis.
Dad,
5 on Davis. Who do you sub in? You have Cuff or De Jesus. De Jesus is De Jesus is all they got. That's all they have, except for Jerome Cuff, who hasn't played at all. But again, I'm looking at the bench from the book from the Roadrunners. There are some players that were on this roster at the beginning of the year that I haven't seen at all. No Taekwon Hodges, no Kamari McCauley, no Kasir Baker, no Sidney Maynard, no Sean Mills, and no Kesamadia. All those players are gone.
By the way, this is Camden's first lead of the game.
Yeah.
They have trailed this entire time.
They missed the and one, and now a foul on the floor on Camden. This is going to go back the other way. It's on 21.
Now we're doing the Cupid shuffle, and we're sliding to the left to shoot some more free throws.
It's the 3rd foul against Zamir Crawford, who ironically enough had the foul and won, and now gets called for another foul as he was coming down. But again, if the Roadrunners win this game, it's a miracle. I'm sorry, but for as much as they've led this game, if they win, it's a miracle. They were not supposed to win this game. They were not projected to win this game. Look at the record on the bottom of your screen, 7-18.
They scored 37 points on February 3rd.
That was versus
Northampton Community College.
And they're one of the best. They're top 5. So to have a performance like no other versus a team that decimated the Roadrunners in early November at the beginning of the season at the Papiano Gym in Blackwood. Here comes Crawford. Roadrunners got to be careful. They get out of it, and De Jesus fouls. There's an and one.
How many's that on De Jesus?
Well, we're going to look at the scoreboard. I don't think it can be that many for Jabez de Jesus. I wasn't counting, to be honest.
That's only his second.
That's only his second. So that's a bit of a breather. But Crawford will go to the line.
Credit where credit's due to Aiden Cranmer.
Yeah, Cranmer here.
For Cranmer having 4 fouls and not fouling in these last couple of minutes that he's been on the floor.
It is an approach that requires extreme restraint as it's now a 3-point lead. Foul and one was good by Zamari Crawford. Out on the right side to Jesus. Feeds it to Zaire Green. Sacco on the left wing. Back to Green with Williams Bay on the floor. Sacco for three. No good. Williams Bay gets it back, puts it up, and it stalls in. 20 for Williams Bay. 72-71. And if you're the Roadrunners, you can't even intentionally foul unless you're Jabez de Jesus, because everybody's fouled out of the game. Out on the right. Camden taking their time, under 2 minutes. Zamir Crawford on the baseline. He established the pivot foot, so he had to pass it out. It goes back to Cam Nember. Deep three. Copestick. He is fouled by Amari Sacco.
That's his fifth.
That's going to be Sacco's fifth.
I think that's his fifth.
That's his third foul. Jerome Cuff is the only other player.
Yeah, that's his fifth.
That's the only other player on the bench that's.
Where do you go to?
Jerome Cuff is
it's
the only other.
Jerome Cuff.
Yeah, he's the only other player on the bench that actually is dressed. And he's even smiling. He can't believe that he's in this game. So double bonuses.
Now Kramer's got to be extra careful, because if he gets his fifth, we're playing 5-on-4.
Well, I believe the rule in the NBA, I don't know how it is in the NJCAA. I'd have to look it up. In the NBA, if you don't have any players on your bench left to sub in after fouling out, you are allowed to play 5 men on the floor and keep the fifth fouled player in, but it is charged as a team technical foul, and for each foul committed, they get 2 shots. That is how it was in the NBA. I remember it happened in 2012 with the Lakers when they were super hurt. They had Kobe hurt, Dwight Howard was hurt, Steve Nash was hurt.
Yeah.
All those guys were hurt. They had a game one time where they fouled out everybody on their bench, so they had to settle for a technical foul for each foul that they committed. Copestick makes 2 of 3, as there was a late foul as he was coming down from a 3-point basket. It is still a one-possession game, 74-71. This is amazing. And not to mention, that was Copestick's first points of the night. Here comes Cranmer to tie.
Oh.
No good. De Jesus can't get it. Camden ball.
I don't hate that look at all. That was a great shot selection right there by Kramer. Now you got to play some defense.
And Sam, I know you weren't here during his freshman year or my freshman year, but Cranmer shot so many more threes as a freshman than he has this year. That's turned over. RCSJ
there
ball.
You go.
Copestick whiffed on his pass to Crawford.
Got to play some defense, and they did. Batista's beside himself. Another opportunity.
But that's one where it's not the ref's fault that time. That's his own player's fault.
Now if I'm the Roadrunners, I need it too.
They shouldn't they have 30 on the shot clock?
Batista was calling timeout. He wasn't awarded it. He wasn't awarded it.
Cranmer has an open look. Williams Bay to Green. Tied! Zaire Green! Nothing but Green! Tie game! 1 minute, 5 seconds. Taking his time, Crawford. 15 on the shot clock, up and in to take the lead. And now Lou Batista gets the timeout. 76-74. Oh my.
Whew, what a finish. Oh my
Zaire
gosh.
Green hits the corner 3 to tie. And then a lay-in inside. And against all odds, this game is still hanging in the balance. 76-74, 55 seconds when we come back. Welcome back from the Roadrunner Gym here in Deptford Township, New Jersey. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Sam Goldberg. This is fun. 76-74. As it's a 2-point game, Camden leads. Amari Crawford went in for the 2-point lay. And these two coaches, one highly more experienced than the other. Lou Abatista, 15th year with the Cougars. John Bird, first year with the Roadrunners.
Watch, Jerome Cuff's going to tie this game here on the possession.
That's your call. Let's see what we've got. 50 seconds. Still a large separation. Jabez to Jesus. Green to Cranmer. Back to Williams Bay. It's in. And a foul. And a foul. There was another foul. That foul was late, but it was called. Desir Williams Bay has tied the game.
That's the fourth on Estevan Norwood.
They're not gonna sub out Norwood. They're gonna instead sub out Singletary and put Copestick back in. And Copestick's the shooter. He had so many clutch shots as a Deptford Spartan, and he has a chance to do it again in a gym not far from home as Williams Bay gives them the lead. John Bird calls a timeout. We'll take a quick break. The Roadrunners against all odds. They have 0 players on the bench left that have not been fouled out. They actually have players sitting next to them, standing around John Bird, that have all been fouled out of the game. It's been their moral support characters. We'll take a break, 77-76. I can't say that I've had many JUCO games better than this. I can think the only one that comes to mind is in this gym in the Roadrunner Classic last year in December 2024, Bryant and Stratton Rochester versus Williamson Trade. 2 JUCOs that saw Williamson Trade hit a buzzer beater.
Gotta get it in.
And now they're gonna force a timeout on Lou Abatista. They couldn't get it off in time.
That's their final timeout.
They kind of had to take their final timeout there. We'll stay here. Even though it is a full, we'll stay here.
Abatista's frustrated that the timeout was called there.
They're going to change it to a 30-second because they're out of fulls. But here's my thing, is that if you are Camden.
Oh, no, they have one. They have one more timeout, right?
I have it as their last. I don't know. I have RCSJ having 1. I have Camden having 0. I might be wrong, though.
Got to get the ball. You got to set some screens here. You got to get somebody open. That is your objective right now.
Because you'd rather burn the timeout than give up a 5-second violation.
If anything, I'm looking for Estevan Norwood against Cuff.
They're going to hand it off. Okay, so they get it to Crawford. 9-second separation. 35. Back to Copestick. Camden down by 1.
Jerome Cuff is playing face-up defense on Norwood.
Leaving no stone unturned. 15 to shoot. 25 on the game clock. Copestick spinning around. Long 2. No good. They get the rebound. Cranmer hucks it up to DeJesus.
Got to foul. You got to foul.
They have to foul. DeJesus got a shot off, but not before Copestick fouled him. This is unbelievable. It's the little group that could. An RCSJ team that has been beaten and battered and has been doubted versus one of the best. Don't think that I'm bashing Camden County because they are incredible. 15-8. But RCSJ on their sophomore night has a little bit of pixie dust in the gym as Jabez DeJesus makes his first. And he makes his second.
Need a 3 to tie, no timeouts.
Give it to Copestick or give it. I mean, do you give it to Copestick or there's no time. We got to go. 10 seconds. No time for discussion. Crawford brings it up the floor. He stepped over the backcourt line. Back to 5.
3 seconds.
He spins. 3. Lets it fly. It's short. Buzzer expires. And the upset is for real. RCSJ beats Camden County 79-76.
Watch out. Watch out, watch out.
We've got some trouble here. We've got a whole lot of trouble. Jerome Cuff is talking. Athletic Director Brian Rowan is in the mix.
Oh, my
Lou
gosh.
Abatista is lit up. He's talking to John Bird. And RCSJ is fired up because they just won versus a 15-8 team. There were some words exchanged. There was a little bit of Javes de Jesus was hanging on the rim. Well, I just want to say that listen, there was some disrespect in this game, and that's the problem with JUCO is that these players are not taught proper sportsmanship. But again, we've come to the point in Region 19 where we have a pregame handshake because we don't have the confidence that our players are grown adults enough to settle their differences and shake their hands at the end of the game. That scuffle gets avoided if you have to come face-to-face with the people at the end of the line, at the end of the game. I don't care who it is. That's just how it is, and that's a bad decision that they do that. It's a cowardly decision.
That was Jerome Cuff that really started it all. He got in the face
and he barely even played.
They got in the face of some of the Camden players at the end of the game, and he was the catalyst for all that.
And that's the problem. I didn't see whether Camden instigated it or whether RCSJ instigated it.
Oh, that was all Jerome Cuff.
Then why is he doing that when they won the game? They should be proud. The players should be proud that the Roadrunners won the game as incredible upset, underdogs versus a team that's 15-8. They just threw away all of the goodwill that they had with that game because they wanted to talk because they won the game. You talk with the product on the floor. You don't talk once the buzzer has sounded. Go to the locker room, figure it out. You can do whatever you want, but that is a very bad look, and I'm not a fan of that at all. Let's talk about the game, though. 79-76, Roadrunners win. If Camden had won this game, the player of the game, without a doubt, is Norwood.
Yeah.
29 points.
29 points.
Easily. And you know what? He did exactly what was asked of him for Camden County. He drove to the basket when they had the double bonus in the second half, and they found a way to get everything in motion. They found a way for Camden to, have a little bit of confidence, have a little bit of pep in the step for that team. And then as they go forward, they continue to put the Roadrunners in foul trouble to the point where they fouled every single player out of the game except for the ones on the floor. They literally had 5 players left. We were talking during the break about, how nice would this be if the game went to overtime? But no. It wouldn't have been nice because for the Roadrunners, they would have run out of gas. They would have either run out of gas or would have run out of players. We talked about that technical foul that would have happened, the provision that would have happened. That would have sent all the momentum to Camden County, and they would have had not a prayer at the end of the game. So I think the Roadrunners should be lucky that they got the win in regulation, but that's what makes me even more upset about, the Roadrunners, which are personally my team because I'm a student here and I work here. That's what makes me more upset is the fact that you won the game. Take that with pride. Don't take it out on the other team. That is my main issue, and that is why this is that is a bad situation, and I hope that John Bird cleans that up as they go into the end of the regular season. But as we were saying, listen, the Roadrunners played as best as they could for a team that had 5 players on the floor. Desir Williams-Bay at 23, Lassiter at 15, Davis at 8, Cranmer with 7. There's a lot to like about that. And for a Roadrunners team that, was a lot of freshmen coming in last year and a lot of players that didn't stick it out for the whole season, which I think if you make a commitment to be a college athlete, you should stick around for the whole season. You shouldn't quit on your team, as a lot of players have done. The Roadrunners stuck around with what they had. They had a bad losing streak in December. They had a bad losing streak in January. This is the most dedicated game that they've played all season, the game with the most grit, the game with the most power, most volition. They played their hearts out tonight.
I mean, you just look at the game that happened on February 3rd, 2 days ago, where they got the socks blown off of them against Northampton Community College, 93-37, and you come out here. I mean, granted, Camden was without two of their most dynamic players on the floor due to injury, but still, I mean, the fact that you came out here, you matched that energy, you matched what Camden was doing. I mean, that was just that. It was a masterclass performance today by the Roadrunners, and they were hanging on, they were living on the edge in this game, and they hung on. Credit where it's credit is due. They hit big shots, they rebounded when they needed to, and especially a big shout out to Aiden Kramer for being disciplined with 4 fouls. He picked up his 4th foul with 18 minutes to go in the second half.
Right. And he didn't have another one for the rest of the night.
And he didn't have another. He played disciplined the rest of the second half, and that was big for this Roadrunners victory.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, the fact that the Roadrunners were able to stay as disciplined as they were when the clock was running was great. I mean, they had that one technical that Kramer had. He very well could have picked up a second later in the game if he wasn't careful, but he really locked it down. You mentioned, by the way, was that 4th foul? Was that his technical?
That was a technical.
Okay.
Yep, the technical foul gave him a personal foul.
The technical foul, well, obviously, but the technical foul was his last foul. 18 minutes left as the Roadrunners come out of the locker room in street clothes. But, I mean, listen, if you're the Roadrunners, this season didn't go the way you wanted it to. You're now 8-18 on the year. You're 11th out of 19. It's not an embarrassing season, but it's not a flattering season. And for John Bird, it's his first. You know, listen, I give all the credit in the world to John Bird as a first-year head coach. He came in with about 6 weeks of notice between, actually, I'd say even less than that, between when the head coach resigned, Brandon Williams, and when he got thrust into the position going into the first game. He went into the first game versus Delaware Tech, which is a Division II in NJCAA, with about 4 to 5 weeks of even being the head coach of the players. Now, obviously, it's different because he was an assistant. If he was completely brand new and he was a brand new hire, that would have been even harder. But it's still an incredibly tall task to ask of John Bird or to ask of anybody. And that's exactly what he did, and we saw his coaching at a premium tonight. We showed that he was able to really, give the Roadrunners a lot of chances for the roster that they have. They had a very thin roster. They had a very thin bench for basically the entire second half. They only had 2 or 3 players, and they had a depleted roster. But they won this game, and I give that credit to John Bird for keeping his players disciplined at least while the clock was running.
Absolutely. If you're Camden, you take a look back at this game and you realize the little things that you did wrong, and you just go from there. Like this Camden team, I feel like now going into the playoffs, I feel like they'll take teams that they're playing a little bit more seriously. I felt like they went into this matchup thinking that they were going to coast in this game, and then they were in for a surprise. So I think this is a wake-up call for this Camden team going into the playoffs, and to take teams that they play more seriously and play with more intensity and play more mistake-free. There were a lot of mistakes tonight for Camden that the Roadrunners capitalized on.
Well, I would say as well, one last point before we close out, is that Camden was on a 4-game winning streak coming into tonight. They beaten Passaic, who had 4 wins. They beat Bergen, who had 7 or 8. They beat Sussex, which was at the bottom, and they beat Luzerne, who was way at the bottom of Region 19. This is another one of those teams. Luzerne and Passaic don't have many fewer wins than RCSJ has. Passaic and Sussex have 4 apiece. RCSJ had 7 going into tonight. I think they might have let off the gas a little bit. But you know what? It's not going to get easier. They have UCNJ on Saturday the 7th, and then 2 games after that, they go to the DuPont Fieldhouse in Kearney's Point to face the number 3 team in the nation in Salem. So if I'm Camden, I take this game, we kind of dust it off a little bit, and then move on because it's not going to get any easier, and this loss was certainly cognizant of that.
Absolutely, Dan. Man, what a game! I feel
What a fantastic
I feel like every time we're on a call together, we got a really good game.
Yeah, we should start booking you more because we really do have it good with Sam Goldberg. Again, credit to him. He called a lot of basketball over at Robert Morris in Division I. He's got a lot more experience than I do, and he got to be in the house for another great pair of games tonight between Camden and RCSJ. But RCSJ completes the sweep. The women beat Camden by 19, and then in There we go. Sorry about that. They cut our power for a second. I was joking that Angelina and Maddox wanted us to get out here quickly. But from our entire crew at DWB, it's all good, guys. It's all good. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Caleb Lane, Carson Rosso, and Fisher Giannotti, my color commentator, Sam Goldberg of Robert Morris University. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you tomorrow from Clearview Regional High School between the Vineland Fighting Clan and the Clearview Pioneers in non-conference basketball. Final score, RCSJ 79, Camden 76. Have a good one, folks.